Dear learners of Standard 8, it's a very good morning and welcome you all to my today's class. Hopefully, you all are safe and sound at home by the blessings of Almighty Allah. Previously, I had discussed with you about the global warming, its impact on our life and our biodiversity. Today, I am going to discuss the lesson 4 and 5 from your textbook, page number 102, that means 102, earthquake and tsunami. So let's go. We will know about these kinds of disaster. Dear learners, in class 7 we have learned about some natural disasters caused due to climate change. That means cyclone, flood and drought. So in this chapter, we will learn about some more natural disasters, and we will also learn about the means how to face them. First of all, before going to discuss about the earthquake and tsunami, you need to know about the plate tectonic theory. Though about plate tectonic theory, you have a little bit knowledge in standard 6. Dear learners, men always wanted to know the reasons behind the earthquake, isn't it? And the question always in their mind, that is, why does the volcanic eruption occur? So in this case, you know about the internal structure of the earth's surface or the earth. So internal structure is divided into 3 parts: core, mantle and the lithosphere. And that means man wanted to know why dreadfully hot liquids and gaseous substances expelled from some places of the earth's surface. And you know, from the mantle zone of the interior portion of the earth, volcanic eruption occur. So from where different types of substances come out on the surface of the earth, one theory has been introduced by the scientist. So at last, scientists introduced a theory named plate tectonic theory, and the earthquake and volcanic eruption can be explained by the plate tectonic theory, and this theory accepted by all to a great extent. So dear learners, follow the image. Here mentioned the earth major plates using the black color. So follow the Eurasian plate, this is the, according to the continent basis, if we consider, we can see the Pacific plate, Eurasian plate, the North American plate, South American plate, Antarctic plate, African plate and Indian and Australian plate. So where is the position of our Bangladesh? So dear learners, our Bangladesh is situated for its geographical location at the periphery of the Indian and European plate. For this reason, it has been in an earthquake prone region. An earth agitating force is attractive in Bangladesh for her earth's category and the internal structure of our country. For this reason, or that is why, the country remains in an active earthquake zone, and thus earthquake is a common phenomenon in our country. So let's know, plate tectonic theory is a scientific theory describing the large scale motion of 7 large plates and the movements of a large number of smaller plates of earth's surface. These large plates can be divided into the smaller plates. In higher class you will know enough. Now what is plate? The basic conception of this plate tectonic theory is based on the findings that the lithosphere below the earth's surface is separated into many portions or parts. These are called plates. So you can remind, that is what is lithosphere. The upper portion is lithosphere is known as the earth crust, and the earth crust is covered by either water or soil. So we can say the lithosphere, that means the topmost part of the earth crust is known as the lithosphere, not earth's surface. I told you the earth crust is the lithosphere and the upper portion of the lithosphere is known as the earth crust. So here these are called the plates, and these plates are in floating condition over a region of mantle zone. Where one plate is contact with another plate, that area becomes more prone to earthquake and volcanic eruption. So dear learners, these plates are in floating condition over a region of mantle zone, and these plates are displaced by few centimeter per year towards any direction. Sometimes these plates moves away from one another, and again sometimes they come close to one another. So even sometimes plates moves up and down by few millimeters per year. So where one plate come in contact with one another, that area becomes more prone to earthquake and volcanic eruption. And when these plates smack or strike one another, what happens? Immense heat is produced and the substance inside the earth get melted due to this excessive heat, and this melted substance gases out from below the earth's surface due to the huge pressure. You know, the inner portion of the earth, there is huge pressure and much more temperature and enough heat, and these split, melted and hot liquids are known as magma or lava. Now come to the point, what is earthquake? Among all the natural disasters of the world, earthquake causes much havoc within a very short time, you know, and no advance news can be conveyed about the earthquake among all the natural disasters. So this earthquake, the tendency of the earth is observed almost in a number of countries and regions of the world. So sometimes some parts of the earth's surface get an unexpectedly shake or jolt for some regions. The quake turns to severe state from its very tender state, which normally lasts for few seconds. Such sudden or momentary vibration of the surface of the earth is called earthquake. So earthquake, you know the definition. So we can say the sudden violent shaking of the ground, typically causing a great destruction as a result of movements within the earth crust or volcanic action. So why and how the earthquake occurred? Follow the inner portion of the earth, and for knowing the earthquake, focus and epicenter is very emergency. So the focus or epicenter you will know in higher classes, but the reason, the little bit knowledge I want to share with you, that is the region within the interior side of the earth where the earthquake is formed is called the focus or of earthquake, that means the center point from where the earthquake is originated, and the name of the outer surface, that is the epicenter. That means the name of the outer surface just above the earth, at just above the focus is called, or overlying the focus is called the epicenter. So the name of the outer surface of the earth at just above the focus, it is known as the epicenter. And you will remember one thing, that is the velocity of the quake from the epicenter gradually reduced around, and the tendency of the earthquake is much in epicenter, not in focus. So an earthquake is caused by a sudden slip on a fault. Fault means fault. So due to plate tectonic theory, when you know the plates are moving and sometimes they dislocate from one another, and also sometimes they come in contact with one another. So at that time the fault occurs, and the tectonic plates are always slowly moving, but they get stuck at their edges due to friction or strike. When the stress on the edge overcomes the friction, there is an earthquake that releases energy in waves that travel through the earth crust and causes the shaking or jolt or vibration that we feel, and that is the earthquake. And the steps to minimize the losses of earthquake. Actually, no advanced news can be conveyed about earthquake, I told you, and it turns a whole area into debris within a very short time, or some before human beings knowing anything about it. And generally massive, moderate or mild earthquake may occur several times at the same place. So, how to minimize? Follow the simple some information, that is, while constructing any infrastructure anywhere, the soil should be tested by experts and the foundation of the structure should be made firm and strong. A safe distance should be maintained in between two constructions that must have several doors instead of any, or any multi-story building should possess emergency exit where necessary. So, enough door is needed if you want to make any multi-story building. Lines of electricity and gas should be maintained in faultless state. Every day we should be we have to very much careful about the checking of our electricity and gas line. The furniture of the houses should preferably be made of wood as much as possible. So, follow the debris of the earthquake within a very short time. Earthquake zone of Bangladesh. We have got the evidence of earthquake in the world, that is Iran, China, Mexico, Chile, Japan, and Bangladesh is also at the risk of earthquake. So, particularly some regions are highly prone or most risky zones. Follow the map of Bangladesh. This pink color shows you the high risk zone. This the light yellowish, it is the moderate risk zone, and the low risk zone, it is the olive green. So, high risk zone Mymensingh, Sylhet, Rangpur, Lalmonirhat, Kurigram, etc. Moderate zone Bogura, Dinajpur, Dhaka, Kumilla, Panchgord, and the low risk zone Khulna, Joshua, Borishal, Patuakhali, etc. So, Dhaka, Sylhet, Rangpur, Chattogram most risky zone now. In recent times, mild quakes often shake Chattogram and Sylhet due to the availability of the hill, and the hill slide occur and cutting down the hills by the human. And the quake that occurred on 18 September 2011 was quite severe, and whole country shivered with this. Now, I will tell you about the tsunami. According to your book, what is tsunami is another type of natural disaster, and it is mainly a Japanese word which means the waves of the seashore. And if there is any movement at the seabed due to earthquake or volcanic eruption or any other regions occur, massive waves are created throughout a large area. So, follow tsunami is a Japanese word with an English translation harbor wave or waves of seashore, and represented by two characteristics, that is the top character is a tsunami. The follow, this is su, TSU means harbor, while the bottom character nami means wave. So, we can say the harbor wave. In the past, tsunamis were referred to as tidal waves by the general public and as seismic sea waves by the scientific community. And in your book, that is written, it is the Japanese word which means waves of the seashore. So, these waves dives on the coastal belt with a strong current ranging from 800 to 1300 kilometers per hour. And due to tsunami, the water of the sea turns into tidal bore and enters within 10 kilometers of the coastal belt with a huge speed. So, a tsunami is a series of waves in a water body caused by the displacement of a large volume of water, generally in an ocean or a large lake. Earthquake, volcanic eruption and other underwater explosion above or below water all have the potential to generate a tsunami. unlike normal ocean wave which are generated by wind or tides which are generated by the gravitational pull of the moon. That means for high tide and low tide, different types of tide occur, and the sun, a tsunami is generated by the displacement of water. So actually earthquake and tsunami are interrelated with each other. When the earthquake occurs on the landmass, in water body, tsunami occurs, and it has no relation with the what here follow. It has no relation with the gravitational pull of the moon or any types of normal waves which are generated by the wind. How does the tsunami occur? It is the interior portion of the earth. From the mantle zone the volcanic eruption occur, and the lithospheric zone where the earthquake occur. So tsunami occurs when an earthquake happens underground. Tsunamis can also happen due to landslides occur in underground, and tsunami occur when volcanic eruption happens in the underground. So dear learners, within a very short time, houses and buildings, road, railway and other communications, electricity, business centers can be completely destroyed by tsunami or the earthquake. Now the example Japan, and it is well known to everyone that is a huge tsunami hit the northeast area of Japan in the year 2011, and it was the result of an 8.9 Richter scale earthquake under the sea, and it hit an area which was 400 kilometers away from Tokyo, the capital city of Japan. So what is the capital city of Japan? It is Tokyo, and 400 kilometers away from Tokyo, the capital city of Japan, it hit. And as a consequence, 5 nuclear electric plants in Japan were highly damaged, and radioactive substance from these nuclear plants started spreading through air and water. So Japan earthquake and tsunami of 2011, also called Great Sendai earthquake or Great Tohoku earthquake, and several natural disasters that occurred in northeastern Japan on March 11, 2011, and it was the result of an 8.9 Richter scale earthquake under the sea. It hit an area which was 400 kilometers away from Tokyo, the capital city of Japan. As a consequence, what happened? 5 nuclear electric plants in Japan were highly damaged. Radioactive substance from these power plants, radioactive substance, that means the uranium, thorium, like this, they started spreading through air and water. It creates huge health hazard for human beings. Thousands of railway commuters were missing, and many ships drowned due to this disaster. So railway commuter, the image follow. Commuter rail train are usually composed of multi-units, and which are self-propelled and bi-directional and articulated passengers rail car with driving motors on each bogie. And about the nuclear power plant, follow the nuclear power plant, thermal power station, and a nuclear power plant is a thermal power station in which the heat used as a source, and this heat source is a nuclear reactor, and as is typical of thermal power stations, heat is used to generate steam that drives a steam turbine connected to a generator that produces electricity. So using heat produce the electricity, and as of 2018 the Thermal International Atomic Energy Agency reported there were 450 nuclear power reactors in operation in 30 countries around the world. So dear learners, I have tried to tell you together earthquake and tsunami, because earthquake and tsunami the interrelated with each other, and these two disasters can create the huge health hazard for human beings, and they create much havoc in the world within a very short time. So thank you everyone. Goodbye.